Hi everyone. Whenever you read an article or any kind of writing, your whole purpose is to understand what the author is trying to say. Now, casual reading is fine. You just read it, you kind of go, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Or you can dive into it and try to really get the meaning of it. And I'm going to do that with you right now. Try to help you dig into the meaning. Now, I've mentioned this article before, but we're going to do a little more than just read it. We're going to kind of take it chunk by chunk and see what it's telling us. The name of this article is called Homeless. It was written by Anna Quinlan, and it's an essay that first appeared in Newsweek in 1987. Now, allow me to read this. Her name was Anne, and we met in the Port Authority bus terminal several Januaries ago. I was doing a story on homeless people. She said I was wasting my time talking to her. She was just passing through, although she'd been passing through for more than 2 weeks. Now, that is the very first paragraph of this article. You have already been introduced to who it is we're talking about. Her name was Anne. So the reader has a name already to grab onto and think about. And what does it say? When we met in the Port Authority bus terminal. They met in a bus terminal. I was doing a story on homeless people. She said I was wasting my time talking to her. She was just passing through. So what would the theme be of this first paragraph? I would say, just passing through, she said. Whenever you're reading the first paragraph, that's the first thing that will catch your attention. Now, let's go on to the next paragraph. It says as follows. To prove to me that this was true, she rummaged through a tote bag and a manila envelope and finally unfolded a sheet of typing paper and brought out her photographs. They were not pictures of family or friends or even a dog or cat. Its eyes, brown eye red, and flash bulbs of light. They were pictures of a house. It was like 1,000 houses in 100 towns. Not suburb, not city, but somewhere in between, with aluminum siding and a chain-link fence, a narrow driveway running up to a one-car garage, and a patch of backyard. The house was yellow. So what are we to get out of that? This woman is not just talking about family. She's talking about a place. It appears to be very important to her. Because notice what it says here. They were pictures of a house. And it says here, it was like 1,000 houses in 100 towns. Not suburb, not city, but somewhere in between with aluminum siding and a chain link fence. So what was it? They were pictures of a house. That tells you what this paragraph is about. They were pictures of a house. Next paragraph. I looked on the back for a date or a name, but neither was there. There was no need for discussion. I knew what she was trying to tell me, for it was something I had often felt. She was not adrift, alone, anonymous, although her bags and her raincoat, with the grime shadowing its creases, had made me believe she was. She had a house, or at least once upon a time had one. Inside were curtains, a couch, a stove, pot holders. You are where you live. She was somebody. What was that trying to say? Let's go back to what the paragraph says. I looked on and back for a date I knew that she was trying to tell me, for it was something I often felt. She was not adrift, alone, or anonymous. She was not adrift, alone, or anonymous. She was simply homeless. That is capturing more and more what this writer is trying to get across. This writer is trying to communicate to you and me that this person is just not a person named Anne. She looks like a person that may have lost something very valuable. And that valuable thing is her home. Let's keep on reading. I've never been very good at looking at the big picture, taking the global view. And I've always been a person with an overactive sense of place, the legacy of an Irish grandfather. So it's natural that the thing that seems most wrong with the world to me right now is that there are so many people with no homes. She tries to bring a little bit of levity to a very harsh situation, referring to her grandfather, referring to her Irish ancestry. She says to us here, I've never been very good at looking at the big picture. Look at me. My Irish background. Just can't see it. That's the best she can do because this is a tough situation. You can't make light of it. But she's trying to give us a chance, even with that one paragraph, to step back and think. Think about what you and her have just talked about. When you read it, you read about someone who doesn't have a home. I'm not simply talking about shelter from the elements or 3 square meals a day or a mailing address to which the welfare people can send a check, although I know that all these people are important for survival. I'm talking about a home. Home is where the heart is. There's no place like it. I love my home with a passion totally out of proportion to its appearance or location. I love dumb things about it. The hot water heater, the plastic rack you drain dishes in, the roof over my head, which occasionally leaks, and yet it is precisely those dumb things that make it what it is. A place of certain stability, predictability, privacy for me and for my family. It's where I live. So what's she talking about? She's talking about, I'm talking about a home. Home is where the heart is. There's no place like it. Once again, she's giving you a little more than just that. But the bottom line is, this is a home. And this young lady no longer has it. Next paragraph. People find it curious that those without homes would rather sleep with sitting up on benches or huddle in doorways than go to shelters. Certainly some prefer to do so because they are emotionally ill, because they have been locked in before and they're damned if they will be locked in again. Others are afraid of the violence and trouble they may find there. But some seem to want something that is not available in shelters, and they will not compromise. Not for a cot or oatmeal or a shower with special soap that kills the bugs. They want that home they had back. You see, she's saying there are people out there who are afraid to go to a shelter for a lot of good reasons. But here's a woman that's going to not want to go to a shelter because it's not about having a roof over your head. It's about that special place called the home where you live. And I'm going to go a little side road here for folks. This is not a story, but think about it for a minute. Do you or I own a mansion? Probably not. Do you or I own a huge $300,000 home? Probably not. Maybe we have an apartment. Maybe we have a condo. Maybe we have a small house. Maybe we just have a trailer. Who knows what we have? But for us, that's home. And that's exactly what Quinlan is saying in this. So when you read the article, you have a choice. You can brush through it, read it quickly, and just go, oh, and go, my heart goes out to this person, they're homeless. And I'm sure that's a sincere feeling. But this person is not just homeless. They're without their home. And that is even deeper. And friends, that's what Quinlan's trying to communicate. Every paragraph has that special message or theme that's trying to communicate something to you and me. When you and I read an article like this or anything like this, we need to pause and think, what is the author trying to tell us? The more you're able to do that, the more I'm able to do that, the more we're going to truly understand whatever it is we read, how we read it, and how we comprehend what we're being told. Think about it. Your teacher's coming soon. Talk to you soon.